Tonight on News 5 Live, the body of an 18-year-old is found in the Lordbridge Cemetery. Who killed Gabriel Tillett and why? A mother of three perishes in a deadly fire in Duck Run 1. The opposition leader responds to Royal Caribbean on Portico. And on this week's Culture Tuesday, Sugar City celebrates the first ever Orange Walk Fair Trade Market Day. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Kick off the summer celebrating dads and grads and unlock something awesome with Samsung. Discover great gift options with our complete lineup of Samsung phones, smartwatches, earbuds, and tablets. Get up to 50% off the Galaxy A04e when you purchase select Galaxy models. Samsung has the perfect gift for every superhero and achiever. For dad, a watch to conquer the day. For grads, Galaxy Buds and a Tab A7 to conquer the world. Explore the Z Flip 4, Z Fold 4, Galaxy Tabs, and incredible S-Series devices. And don't forget to check out the A-Series phones, including the all-new Galaxy A24. Enjoy 1-year warranty when you shop at any authorized reseller nationwide. Celebrate dads and honor the grads and make moments extraordinary with Samsung.
The Belize Tourism Board, Mars Production, and Belican present the biggest show to hit the jewel we call Belize. It's the Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0. Join us on Saturday, July 29th and Sunday, July 30th at the Marion Jones Stadium with live performances by Morgan Heritage,
I'll be down by the river.
the dancehall queen Spice,
Me's a girl, me no fight over man.
Busy Signal,
Turn up for them stairs,
Afrobeat sensation Rotini, the biggest dancehall artist for 2023, Byron Messiah,
from which part?
alongside Skinny Fabulous, Giselle, Earth and Owls, Mr. Warming Up Adam O, and Lyrical. It's the Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0, July 29th and 30th. Come savor the rhythm as we pair music with the best of Belizean cuisine. Sponsors are Belize Tourism Board, Belican, Niche, Pop, ICB, Wine Smith, eCash, Dolphin Production, DigiWallet, Channel 5, Love FM, Creme Radio, Channel 7, Vibes Radio, Fiesta FM, and OYE Radio.
Belize's favorite Tuesday night entertainment is back. KTV The Remix Season 5. On Tuesday, July 4th, we go live on Channel 5 and streaming on Facebook and YouTube. But what better way to enjoy KTV than to be seated at the Bliss? Come out and win fabulous prizes and a chance to compete in our KTV challenges. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Coney Drive or at 88th Store on Central American Boulevard in Belize City for only $3 for children and $5 for adults. The show starts at 8 p.m. at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. KTV The Remix Season 5. It's going to be fun, exciting, and live only on Channel 5.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, July 4th. I am Sabrina Daly. Police have a new murder to solve in Belize City. This morning, investigators were summoned to the Lord Ridge Cemetery, where they discovered the body of Gabriel Tillett, an 18-year-old laborer of the Pitter Street area near Antelope Street Extension. That is a few blocks away from where the youth's body was found. Someone passing through the cemetery stumbled upon the body and alerted the police to the scene. The Pitter Street, Antelope Street Extension area has become a hotspot for murders in recent years. And this latest homicide has left investigators retracing Tillett's last steps in order to crack the case. News 5's Marian Ali was on the beat today and filed the following report.
The body of 18-year-old Gabriel Corey Tillett was found this morning in the Lordridge Cemetery, a few blocks away from where he lived off Pitter Street in the Collette Division. It is not yet certain whether Tillett was murdered in the cemetery or was merely dumped there, but scenes of crime personnel processed the immediate area looking for clues. Best information at this time is that the body showed blunt force injuries about the head and cut wounds to the feet. The body was clad in only a shirt and pair of boxers, and the deceased's pants and cell phone were not found. The only area resident who lives directly behind where the body was found would only tell us off camera that he was awakened when his dogs began to bark incessantly in the wee hours of the morning. He and his family did not get up to see what was causing the ruckus, but he did say that he found it strange that the dogs kept barking for several minutes. There are a few surveillance cameras perched at different heights on the far end of Pitter Street overlooking that area. Based on the location where the body was found, perhaps this is the only one that may have captured what happened there. Gabriel Tillett's family refused to talk to us, and police were trying to gather information of his last known whereabouts. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
2 fires were recorded over the weekend out west, one of which claimed the life of a mother of 3. The fire broke around 3 a.m. on Sunday in the Duck Run 1 community, and while the property's owner mother was able to escape unhurt, they would later that day realize that Mendez, an employee who recently started working with the family, perished inside the blaze. Today, a News 5 team headed west, and Wayne Moody files the following report.
In the wee small hours of Sunday, as the community of Duck Run 1 slept, a deadly fire broke inside a 3-bedroom wooden structure located adjacent to the El Cerrito bar in that village. Bar owner Wilmer Chavez says that he was awakened by a distress call and ran over to find that his mother had already exited the burning building.
En la casa al lado, que es de mi madre, de mi mamá.
The fire occurred in my mom's house. I was alerted by my wife, who woke me up and said that there is a fire next door, and I got up and ran towards the side of the house where her room is located. When I got there, she was walking out of the house and I helped her to safety. I then went looking for a hose to spray water on the house, but it happened so quickly.
The Spanish Lookout Fire Station responded to the blaze, but the inferno ripped through the wooden structure quickly, and by the time they arrived, nothing could have been saved, and they extinguished the blaze. It was not until 12 hours later, around 2 p.m., that the charred remains, believed to be that of an employee of Cerrito Bar, was discovered in the rubble.
Desgraciadamente había otra persona.
Unfortunately, there was another person inside the house, in another area of the house, that lost her life. It is lamentable, but we didn't know that she was inside because that night she went out around 10 o'clock. And so for me, she wasn't inside the house. But thereafter we found out that she returned home in the morning, but we didn't know that she was inside.
We weren't able to save anything. We called 911, but they never answer. So we called Spanish Lookout Fire Department, and they show up and they help us with the fire.
It was during that you found out that the young lady was in there?
No, we never know that at that time. During the day, around 2 in the evening probably, we noticed that there was a body in there.
Michelle Mendez, a mother of 3, had only been employed less than a month ago.
She was a person who came to assist us on weekends, to assist with clients of the bar. Her name is Michelle Mendez. That's the name that I had, but I am understanding that that was not her real name, and at this time, we don't know what her real name is.
So she was trapped in a particular part of the house?
She was sleeping in her room.
At this point in time, the cause of the fire has not been established. Chavez says that while the house and its contents were valued at approximately $60,000, the loss of a life is priceless.
Va a ser bien duro recuperarlos, pero
It will be hard to recover from this, but we are with life and we will see how we can rebuild the house.
Anyone wanting to assist the Chavez family can contact him at 650-5406. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
This afternoon, Mendez's oldest daughter reached out to News 5 to inform that her name was actually Joba Maribel Leon Ramirez. The second fire also occurred on Sunday morning, but this time in San Ignacio. Just before dawn, a fire started inside a two-story house on 2nd Street with its owner, Leopoldo Waite, inside. The upper flat of the building, where it is believed that the fire started, was wooden, and the ground floor was concrete. The branch of National Fire Service in that municipality was called out to the scene and managed to extinguish the blaze, but nothing was saved. Fortunately, in this case, Waite was safely taken out of the burning building. When we arrived at the scene near the downtown area of San Ignacio, the gate was locked and the charred rubble had not been removed as yet. An investigation is ongoing into the cause of the fire. There's much more news after the break, so don't go away.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "When my father and my mother forsake me, then the Lord will take me up." Some time ago, I attended the funeral of a man 50 years of age. He had deserted his wife and children and on a cruise ship with another woman died of a massive heart attack. Even though he deserted them, God did not desert them. He is always there to pick us up and to encourage us on. Ben Hooper was twice the governor of the state of Tennessee. At birth, no one would ever have picked him to be a future governor. He was born an illegitimate son to a woman outside of wedlock. He related as a boy, he was often embarrassed to walk down a street because people would say, "Whose boy is that? Wonder who his father is." He did not even like to go to school and refused to go to church. But then a new preacher came to town who seemed to care about people. He would slip in after the services began and leave before they were over. However, one Sunday, he did not get out in time. The preacher came up from behind him and put his hand on his shoulder and asked him that dreaded question, "Whose boy are you?" Then the preacher said, "Oh, I know who you are. You're a child of God. So go and claim it." He did. He came to Christ and was saved and now a son of the King. Let me ask you, whose boy or daughter are you? You are a child of God. Go and claim it today. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
The Office of the Prime Minister invites you to join us at the second annual Belize Investment Summit from August 30th to September 1st, 2023 at the Grand Caribe Resort on Ambergris Caye. Belize, the land of endless potential, with a vibrant people and economy and a wealth of natural resources, is the region's premier investment hub, offering a range of opportunities across sectors including the blue, green, and orange economies. The Belize Investment Summit 2023 is your chance to explore these opportunities and connect with potential partners, investors, financiers, and stakeholders from across the globe. This 3-day summit will offer networking opportunities, site visits, one-on-one meetings, roundtable discussions, business pitches, an expo, and keynote presentations from government officials and industry leaders. Gain insight into Belize's investment climate and the incentives that make our country the destination for investment. Register now for the Belize Investment Summit 2023 and discover a world of opportunities. Be a believer. Invest in Belize. Thrive in Belize.
Dear people of Belize, the World Health Organization has certified Belize as malaria-free, and I want to congratulate your country, the government, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, and the National Vector Control Program for its leadership, determination, and the commitment to pursue and finally achieve the elimination of malaria. This is an extraordinary achievement for Belize, and it will also serve of inspiration for the other endemic countries in the Americas. I must also extend my congratulations to the health personnel who for decades dedicated their work to eliminating this disease, and the community health workers, voluntary collaborators, and other actors engaged in the fight against malaria. Belize's success story is a testament to the strengthening core strategies and health system implemented since the 2000s. Belize reported the last indigenous case in 2018, and has since demonstrated a strong commitment to consolidating and maintaining core interventions and strategies to prevent the re-establishment of malaria. Following the achievement of Paraguay, Argentina, and El Salvador, Belize becomes today the fourth country in the Americas and the second in the Central America to be certified as free of malaria over the last 5 years. There is a great possibility that the elimination of malaria in Central America may turn into reality thanks to the country efforts and key partnerships in the region. We also recognize Suriname, Mexico, and Dominican Republic as countries in the Americas that are currently approaching the final stages towards the elimination of malaria. I would like to encourage Belize authorities to sustain their remarkable achievement in malaria elimination, to continue to advance in the disease elimination initiative promoted by PAHO, and be a model to the rest of the region. The people of Belize should be proud of this success, and I especially would like to thank those partners who contributed to the elimination process. Congratulations to all, and thank you.
Legal advice, the continuing legal advice.
Minister Kowe, you claimed you needed legal advice, but you had already gotten legal advice from Ben Duratowicz, the British lawyer defending Belize against Guatemala at the ICJ.
This is our attorney at the ICJ. The fate of our sovereign state depends on Ben Duratowicz. He prepared a 53-page legal opinion. The contract is simply unlawful even if the government were to wish to maintain it. You understand this came on April 20th. The definitive agreement went to cabinet.
Yes.
Yeah. For its acceptance on May 17th. The government ignored it, pushed it on the table, and wished that the public would never see it or know of it. I believe they wished also that certain cabinet members would not know it or speak of it.
I would rely entirely on the legal advice provided to the government.
Minister Kowe, you want legal advice? See it, yeah?
The government cannot, as a matter of principle, lawfully proceed on the basis of a contract, the content of which is unlawful. Like, what else do you need to hear? He could not say it more clearly.
Minister Kowe, why were you still asking for legal advice 2 months after you had already received expensive legal advice from the British lawyer who told you that this contract was not just illegal, but unconstitutional?
So what he's saying is that if you accept this contract, you're saying that individual members of parliament can't vote how their people tell them to vote. They have to vote as this contract tells them. That's unconstitutional.
Minister Kowe, why did you not disclose to your cabinet colleagues the legal opinion that the corrupt definitive agreement was unlawful? Why did you ask them to approve the definitive agreement and pass it into law? Why are you bringing all this heat on the government? Why, Minister, why?
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Opposition leader Shyne Barrow has written to Royal Caribbean Group in response to a letter from Vice President Josh Carroll 2 weeks ago. In Barrow's letter, he raises several concerns, including the legal opinion presented by Dr. Ben Juratowicz, the minutes of the meeting from the 2021 NEAC meeting, as well as the proposed use of the seabed, which has not received clearance from the Ministry of Natural Resources. Tonight, we look at Barrow's response and how it ties into the ongoing issue of cruise development in Belize. Here's News 5's Isani Cayetano.
A series of letters between the Royal Caribbean Group and the leader of the opposition have drawn another response on the subject of a recent Memorandum of Understanding signed with Portico Enterprises Limited and Boscalis International. On Monday, Shyne Barrow wrote to Joshua Carroll, Vice President of Destination Development for RCG, raising environmental concerns regarding Antillean manatees within the area of the proposed Port of Magical Belize development. In respect of this issue, the opposition leader referred to the minutes of a meeting held by the National Environmental Appraisal Committee, NEAC, in February 2021. During that meeting, over 3 years ago, members of the conservation community expressed serious concerns about the impact of the project on the large sea mammals found near that location. Last year, Vulcan Materials Company, the largest producer of construction aggregates in the United States, expressed an interest in conducting mining activity in the general area. Everyone, including residents of Gales Point Village, the environmental community, and the government of Belize, objected to that idea.
When Vulcan tried to go to the same Gales Point manatee, they were dismissed. They were exiled from Belize because of environmental concerns. Now you have Portico building on a manatee reserve, and Royal Caribbean is going to talk about environmental considerations. I just cannot fathom it.
Back to Barrow's response to RCG. He then goes on to say that local manatee experts have also expressed concerns about Portico's manatee management plan. During Friday's House meeting, the Minister of Sustainable Development stated that the Department of Environment received the manatee management plan earlier this year.
On April 11, 2023, the company also submitted to the DOE the management plan for the Antillean manatee, which has been shared with the Fisheries Department. The company is responsible to implement the plan with the Fisheries Department and local NGOs.
Of note is that the management plan for Antillean manatees was prepared by Wild Tracks on behalf of Portico Enterprises Limited. That document, 118 pages in length, was put together by Paul Walker in 2022. Barrow then shifts attention to Carroll's initial response, in which he wrote, quote, RCG takes great pride in achieving these goals through a collaborative engagement with various stakeholders and by strictly adhering to the laws and processes established by each destination we serve, end quote. To that end, the opposition leader proceeds to describe Portico, RCG's partner in the Memorandum of Understanding, as, quote, an utterly discredited company that executed a fraudulent agreement with a government official, continued their fraudulent conspiracy, with the current Prime Minister and Ministry of Finance, who embraced the illegal Portico agreement, despite the bombshell revelation that preeminent King's Counsel Ben Juratowicz told them was invalid, illegal, and therefore not binding, end quote. In the wake of that surprising news, the Briceño administration issued a statement on Monday reaffirming its position on Portico. That release goes on to say, quote, Cabinet further determined that the government should proceed to meet with these parties with a view to negotiate or develop a new arrangement in an open and transparent manner that would serve the best interests of the people of Belize, end quote. We know that Minister of Tourism Anthony Mahler and Minister of State for Finance Chris Koyi have been tasked with engaging Royal Caribbean on this matter.
I do wonder how it is that the Prime Minister can dispatch Chris Koyi and Anthony Mahler to go to Royal Caribbean to ask them to agree to a renegotiated agreement, to a renegotiated position. First of all, the definitive agreement was not with Royal Caribbean, it was with Portico. Clearly, Portico has a memorandum of understanding with Royal Caribbean, which is not binding, but that gives them some sort of comfort in terms of trying to raise the money to continue with their project. So Royal Caribbean is important.
But is RCG's involvement in this tangled web that important that the company would place its reputation on the line for Portico? That's what the opposition leader, Barrow, asked at the end of his most recent letter. We quote, Could the claims of misfeasance in public office against a former minister who signed a dubious Portico agreement and the current Prime Minister and his Minister of Finance who recommended said agreement to Cabinet with requisite legislation, despite a 51-page legal opinion denouncing the legality of the Portico agreement, expose fraud and corruption, and what are the implications for this for RCG, end quote.
Is a charge of misfeasance in the case of Erwin Contreras signing on to this document unbeknownst to your government at the time a fitting claim to bring against him in court?
In principle, the bringing of an action for damages by way of that claim, by way of that tort, is perfectly valid, perfectly acceptable in terms of the law. Whether there is the kind of evidence that can make out the tort is another matter. Whether the port people who have served notice that they are going to be bringing this claim against Mr. Contreras can show that what he did caused them damage so as to entitle them to damages is again another matter.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Kayetano.
On Monday, the government of Belize issued a press release reiterating its position on Portico, presumably to get ahead of a fresh round of criticism in light of a new revelation that the Briceño administration was advised of the illegality of the definitive agreement long before it was presented in Cabinet. The 51-page document is a comprehensive legal opinion put together by Dr. Ben Juratowicz, a distinguished legal mind who represents Belize at the ICJ in the territorial dispute with Guatemala. Notwithstanding Juratowicz's professional view on the definitive agreement, the flawed document was brought to Cabinet, allowing with an accompanying piece of proposed legislation. We go back to an interview with Prime Minister John Briceño on March 1st, where News 5's Isani Cayetano asked about the likelihood of the definitive agreement was fraudulently entered into and the Prime Minister's response at that time. Here's that clip.
I'm not sure if this is perhaps a legal question to ask, but if it is found that the definitive agreement was given fraudulently, is there any way that perhaps your administration could rescind that contract?
That, as you rightly pointed out, that's a legal question, and that would be something that for the Attorney General's Ministry to take a look at and then to advise the Cabinet. They've wrote a letter that they want to what do you call it? They want to apply to the British investment, Belize British the treaty, investment treaty that we signed. And again, that's their right if they want to do that. We know that we're trying to do everything properly. We're trying to follow the law. And that's what I've said to Waterloo, I've said it to Stake Bank, and I've said it to Port Magical, to all of them. Once you follow the law, you will have a government that is going to be supportive.
In Juratowicz's legal opinion submitted on April 20th, he wrote, quote, "Where a governmental function is regulated by statute, that function cannot be exercised on the basis of prerogative power. The function purportedly exercised by the minister in entering into the agreement, in this case, is one regulated by statute, specifically the Finance and Audit Reform Act. In those circumstances, the minister could not have entered into the agreement in exercise of prerogative power. For the minister to have entered into the agreement on the basis of the statutory powers set out in Section 17 of the Finance and Audit Reform Act, he would have had to have complied with the conditions set out in that section. It appears that he did not comply with those conditions. Thus, he did not enter into the agreement in exercise of his statutory power, and consequently, he had no authority to enter into the agreement," end quote. The cost of living has been a hot-button issue since before the COVID pandemic subsided. Since then, other events such as the high cost of fuel, freight costs, and the war in Ukraine have prolonged the inflation that Belize and the rest of the world are experiencing. Nonetheless, there are measures governments can take to ease the burden of their people. Following last Friday's House meeting, News 5 asked Prime Minister John Briceño for an update on the government's lowering of fuel prices in Belize, as well as how we are tackling costs of living generally.
Last year, we gave up over $30 million. We are reducing the price slowly, not fast enough, a bit, but we're trying to get back a little bit of that money so that we can continue to do the work of the government. I mean, there are so many needs in this country. The honorable member from Albert knows full well that we import our inflation because most of the items that we consume, we import. So whenever inflation goes up in the United States, it affects us here in Belize. For some time, we've been discussing back and forth in cabinet. So finally, we decided, we put together the Minister Dolores and Minister Abimai to look at the food basket and what can we do to be able to hold on the price. So today, we are now, well, in cabinet, we announced we are going to increase the goods that we want to maintain the margins, which is 15%, from 7 items to 40 items. And we are also meeting with the importers, and what we will be doing with them, comparing what they're paying to customs and what they're saying it costs to be able to sell to the retailers. Because in many instances, it's alleged that some of them reduce that price when they're paying customs and then increase it when they're selling to the other. So we have to find ways on how to do that. The Public Service Union has been helpful. They're saying, you know, we prepare to be able to issue tickets, so we've changed legislation to be able to do the ticketing. We're going to get a person that's going to be the one, for a better word, the anti-inflation czar, and to be able to start to train them. We want to set up a WhatsApp hotline where consumers can take pictures and send it to us, and then we can go and investigate. We have to do it from different angles to try to see how it could hold on the cost of living as best as we possibly can.
Chief Executive Officer Valentino Schall of the Ministry of Labor and Local Government led a delegation to Panama City where they attended a regional workshop hosted by the Regional Conference on Migration and the International Organization for Migration. The conference focused on the exchange of experiences regarding migrant workers, domestic and agricultural work, and circular migration. While at the workshop, Belizean delegates met with representatives of the Costa Rican and Panamanian governments to exchange strategies and engage in productive discussions on best practices such as the labor migratory traceability system. After the break, Orange Walk Town holds first Fair Trade Market Day. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Why long time did I call you?
Meet Alex.
Where they go on, man?
Alex signed up for a DigiOne Premium Bundle. He's loving it. With his free mobile plan, Alex can talk and surf on the go as much as he wants. Topping up and buying data is a thing of the past. Alex now has DigiTV. He enjoys all his games and his favorite shows, no matter if he's on the go or at home. And Alex also enjoys the fastest, most reliable home internet speeds with his DigiNet service. He is living his best life. Alex bundled. Alex is saving $70 monthly compared to purchasing these services from the other providers. Be like Alex. Sign up for your DigiOne bundle package today. DigiOne. One bundle, no hassle, exceptional value.
Legal advice, the continuing legal advice.
Minister Kowi, you claimed you needed legal advice, but you had already gotten legal advice from Ben Duratowicz, the British lawyer defending Belize against Guatemala at the ICJ.
This is our attorney at the ICJ. The fate of our sovereign state depends on Ben Duratowicz. He prepared a 53-page legal opinion. The contract is simply unlawful even if the government were to wish to maintain it. You understand this came on April 20th. The definitive agreement went to cabinet. Yes.
Yeah.
For its acceptance on May 17th, the government ignored it, pushed it on the table and wished that the public would never see it or know of it. I believe they wished also that certain cabinet members would not know it or speak of it.
I would rely entirely on the legal advice provided to the government.
Minister Kowi, you want legal advice? See it, yeah?
The government cannot, as a matter of principle, lawfully proceed on the basis of a contract, the content of which is unlawful. Like, what else do you need to hear? He could not say it more clearly.
Minister Kowi, why were you still asking for legal advice 2 months after you had already received expensive legal advice from the British lawyer who told you that this contract was not just illegal, but unconstitutional?
So what he's saying is that if you accept this contract, you're saying that individual members of parliament can't vote how their people tell them to vote. They have to vote as this contract tells them. That's unconstitutional.
Minister Kowi, why did you not disclose to your cabinet colleagues the legal opinion that the corrupt definitive agreement was unlawful? Why did you ask them to approve the definitive agreement and pass it into law? Why are you bringing all this heat on the government? Why, Minister, why?
Dengue and Zika alert. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that as we enter the rainy season, be aware of the dangers of dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. These are infectious diseases that are transmitted by the bite of Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are most active in early morning and late afternoon. Activities that should be done to prevent dengue and Zika include: avoid having containers that can collect water in your yard. Cover water storage containers such as drums. Change the water in flower pots every 4 or 5 days. These are ideal breeding sites for the mosquito. With the elimination of breeding sites in and around the yard, dengue and Zika can be avoided. Dengue and Zika begin with sudden onset of high fever. Other signs and symptoms include rash, joint pain, eye pain. If you are pregnant or planning to become pregnant, we advise you to visit your nearest health facility. The public is also encouraged to use mosquito repellent spray or lotion on the body or clothing. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding.
Ready or not,
This is possibly the greatest fight in semi-pro basketball history. Scheduled for 5 brutal rounds. Let's get it on. Hurricanes with a vicious right hook to the jaw of the Tiger Sharks in game 1. Down but not out. Sharks answers with a massive left jab to lay out the Hurricanes in round 2. Here comes the Hurricanes with a ferocious power shot to the body of the Tiger Sharks. In round 3, back and forth they go. Who will win the decisive game 4?
They're playing basketball.
This Friday night, July 7th at Belize Civic Center, starting at 9 p.m., is gonna be the battle between the 3-time champion San Pedro Tiger Sharks and the 2-time champ Venice Belize Hurricanes in an all-out war for Game 4.
War in the East.
This game will be the biggest of the season. 2 storied franchises with multiple championships like the Celtics and the Lakers. It's the San Pedro Tiger Sharks, led by Francis Naitiarana, Kyle Stewart, Jihad Wright, John Kelly, going up against the Venice Belize Hurricanes, who will answer with Clancy Cooper Lopez, Victor Vito Evans, Kirk Shabba-Smith Jr., Alex the Legend Carcamo, Jamil Harris, and Chris Frazier. Will the Hurricanes close them out and win their 3rd championship? Or will the Hurricanes be eaten alive by the Tiger Sharks, forcing a decisive Game 5? Bring out the entire family this Friday night, June 7th. Belize Civic Center, 9 p.m. sharp. Canes versus Tiger Sharks. Lots of giveaways, Tiger Shark style. After party at Thursday. Sponsors Maya Island Air, Tough Enough Tours, West Track, Sandy Point Resorts, Joseph and Taylor.
Tiger Sharks with a confident win again.
Every year, World Environment Day is celebrated on June 5, and the Department of the Environment, within the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Management, joins the nation of Belize and other United Nations member countries in worldwide awareness and action to protect our environment, with this year's theme being to beat plastic pollution. We have seen the effects of climate change, now exacerbated by the effects of plastic pollution, primarily from single-use plastics. The Ministry, through the auspices of the Department of the Environment, has enacted the pollution from plastics regulation in 2020, noting that single-use plastics is of high environmental concern. This regulation sought to curb the environmental impacts associated with single-use plastics and to better promote green alternatives, which resulted in the development of national standards for biodegradable products.
The government of Belize, through the Department of Environment, has been controlling and enforcing these regulations to ensure that we protect Belize from the threats of plastic pollution. In so doing, nationwide market surveillance and product sampling has been conducted, resulting in enforcement actions which includes sale prohibition and confiscation of single-use plastics and styrofoam. The detrimental environmental impacts of single-use plastics are everyone's concern. The government calls upon all businesses, industries, civil societies, NGOs, and you, the citizens of Belize, to have civic pride and to help in the fight against plastic pollution and to further contribute to the national efforts in transitioning to a circular economy. Together, we can beat plastic pollution. Happy World Environment Day.
Belize's favorite Tuesday night entertainment is back. KTV The Remix Season 5. On Tuesday, July 4th, we go live on Channel 5 and streaming on Facebook and YouTube. But what better way to enjoy KTV than to be seated at the Bliss? Come out and win fabulous prizes and a chance to compete in our KTV challenges. Tickets are available at Channel 5 on Coney Drive or at 88th Store on Central American Boulevard in Belize City for only $3 for children and $5 for adults. The show starts at 8 p.m. at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. KTV The Remix Season 5. It's going to be fun, exciting, and live only on Channel 5.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited postpaid plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Over the weekend, the Belize Zoo issued a statement on its social media pages on the passing of Sylvia the jaguar. Sylvia was an ambassador wildcat that has been a part of the Belize Zoo family for 6 years and easily became one of the animals with whom visitors developed a bond with. Unfortunately, last week her health deteriorated, and to end her suffering, Sylvia was euthanized. News 5's Dwayne Moody visited the zoo today, where we spoke with lead zookeeper Roxana Limas.
It is a sad time right now for the Belize Zoo, having lost one of its jaguar ambassadors, Sylvia. Sylvia became a part of the zoo family back in 2017. The adult wild cat was named after the village of Sylvester in the north.
We got Sylvia in May of 2017. She's a rescue jaguar. When she came, she was already an adult. She was rescued from Sylvester Village up north, and so to honor the community that saved her, we named her Sylvia. So, you know, the people in the community there didn't want her to be lethally killed because she was hunting their dogs. So they called the zoo, and we went and assisted with rescuing her, and she lived, you know, her last years here happily.
Lead zookeeper Roxana Lemas says that Sylvia captured the hearts of many visitors, Belizeans and tourists alike, with her playful personality.
She touched the heart of many people and also her keepers, especially us that worked closely with her. We had a very good relationship with her. We did so many enrichments with her, and you know, doing the enrichments with her didn't only enrich her but also enriched us, because we get to enjoy seeing her being playful and in that very calm and playful mood, but also the guests that came around. You know, she impacted a lot of guests, students, especially Belizean kids that came from school trips. She was always so charismatic and very friendly, not in a tame way, but she was very people friendly, that she would come up when you call her and she interacted nicely with people. We even had the meet and greet a jaguar, and we used her, and she would come to the fence. She would do put her paw up, and guests would get to see, you know, closely how their paws are. You get to see their claws, and all of that impacted people because it teaches them about these majestic creatures.
Last week, the management at the zoo made the difficult decision to euthanize Sylvia after her health had deteriorated. Lemas says that she was diagnosed with renal failure.
Just like our, you know, regular house cats, when they get older, they suffer a lot of renal failure. So that was her problem. She had renal failure, and their well-being is very important to us. So, you know, making those hard decisions of humanely euthanizing one of your animals is tough, but we know that it's for their better because you don't want to also see them suffering. We knew she was having renal difficulties or kidney difficulties because we check our cats or all our animals, get veterinary checkups regularly, at least once a year. So through ultrasounds, through x-rays, we've monitored all our animals. So we knew that Sylvia had renal failure or had kidney problems, but it wasn't that bad. But after, like, just like us humans, you know, like it develops over time as we age. So her being critically ill was just like a matter of like 3 days to 4 days, and we had to make that decision.
Sylvia's memory lives on in those with whom she interacted, and Lemma says that they want to remember the fun times with her.
I've been with her since 2017, since she got here until her last days, and it's hard because we build really close relationships with them. So it's like, you know, like losing like one of your friends or families, or because you get really attached to them. We keep her memory alive here at the zoo. Just talking about Sylvia, we have so many pictures, videos of her. Guests, you know, they like when we made the post of Sylvia, we had so many guests share their experiences with her. So I'm pretty sure she's gonna live in the memories of all the persons that met her and that she impacted their lives.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
For the past 5 years, she's been known as the Communications and Marketing Director of the Football Federation of Belize. And through her job at the FFB, it affords her the opportunity to work with CONCACAF. That opportunity has landed Yasmin Juan in a position she has always wanted to be. She has been appointed CONCACAF's 2023 Gold Cup Media Officer. Today, Juan told News 5 via Zoom from Jersey City that the 3-week-long tournament has given her good experience and exposure for the next level she wants to reach.
I get to interact directly with players, with coaches. I do interviews. I carry out press conferences. And so that it's really exciting because, like I've said, it's something that I've been working towards. Previously, prior to this Gold Cup assignment, I had done other assignments with CONCACAF. So last year, I did the U17 Girls Championship in Dominican Republic. Earlier this year, I did the CONCACAF U17 Boys Championship in Antigua, Guatemala. And so now when this one came along, I was very excited about it because it's the Gold Cup, you know, it's basically the World Cup for our region. So it's big for me. After working the Gold Cup, I'm hoping to be able to get more assignments with CONCACAF. This assignment was an assignment of 3 weeks. But it also means that through this exposure, because of the level of the Gold Cup and what it represents for our region, it also means that I'm getting that exposure. And hopefully what I'm working towards is to eventually get a FIFA World Cup assignment. When the coaches arrive, we do an interview with the coach and the player. But CONCACAF is the only one who does it. So CONCACAF sells that or offers that service to the different people who buy the media rights. So it offers it to ESPN, to Fox, to Univision, to the different people across the region. So depending on which match I'm working, and so far I've worked, I think, a little bit over 15 matches so far in this Gold Cup. I guess that would determine the type of exposure that I have. But regardless of that, all the interviews, everything else, all the information, everything is on the CONCACAF media channels and media platforms. And like I said, CONCACAF is really big for our region.
When we return, Orange Walk Town holds first Fair Trade Market Day.
Legal advice, the legal advice, the continuing legal advice.
Minister Koe, you claimed you needed legal advice, but you had already gotten legal advice from Ben Duratowicz, the British lawyer defending Belize against Guatemala at the ICJ.
This is our attorney at the ICJ. The fate of our sovereign state depends on Ben Duratowicz. He prepared a 53-page legal opinion. The contract is simply unlawful even if the government were to wish to maintain it. You understand this came on April 20th. The definitive agreement went to cabinet. Yes.
Yeah.
For its acceptance on May 17th. The government ignored it, pushed it on the table, and wished that the public would never see it or know of it. I believe they wished also that cabinet members, certain cabinet members, would not know it or speak of it.
I would rely entirely on the legal advice provided to the government.
Minister Kowi, you want legal advice? See it, yeah?
The government cannot, as a matter of principle, lawfully proceed on the basis of a contract, the content of which is unlawful. Like, what else do you need to hear? He could not say it more clearly.
Minister Kowi, why were you still asking for legal advice 2 months after you had already received expensive legal advice from the British lawyer who told you that this contract was not just illegal, but unconstitutional?
So what he's saying is that if you accept this contract, you're saying that individual members of parliament can't vote how their people tell them to vote. They have to vote as this contract tells them. That's unconstitutional.
Minister Kowi, why did you not disclose to your cabinet colleagues the legal opinion that the corrupt definitive agreement was unlawful? Why did you ask them to approve the definitive agreement and pass it into law? Why are you bringing all this heat on the government? Why, Minister, why?
With so many different styles of light bulbs, sometimes it's tricky to choose the right one. Whether it's a screw-in, candelabra base, or pins, we have what you need. From lamps to ceiling fans, floodlights or chandeliers, we have bulbs available in cool white, warm white, or daylight. All you have to do is choose. Once you have chosen your bulb, the final choice is technology. LED technology is energy efficient, long-lasting, produces a high-quality light, and saves you money. Choose wisely and let Benny's be your one-stop for lights. Benny's, quality and saving.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Micro and small businesses that operate within the Orange Walk district took part in the first ever Fair Trade Market Day on Saturday. Despite a heavy downpour that lasted for the better part of 2 hours, it did not dampen the spirit of the occasion or the businesses from selling their products. Orange Walk, known for its rich mestizo and Maya cultures, also brought out of the event an infusion of those cultures with natural products from Belize's rainforests to promoting economic viability for the products on sale. In this week's edition of Culture Tuesday, News 5's Marian Ali brings you the sights and sounds uniquely wrapped in this economic cultural piece.
The cultural dances and music that were showcased on Saturday at the Orange Walk Central Park added a special touch to the day's event. It was the first ever Orange Walk Fair Trade Market Day, designed to boost economic activity for micro and small business owners, while offering cultural music, dance, and food for those who came from far and near. Chairman of the Orange Walk Fair Trade Committee, John Burgos, told News 5 that the event can only get better from year to year.
Today is the first of many market days that we're going to be doing to promote the local and micro businesses in Orange Walk and Belize.
What kind of effort did it take to put all of this together?
Well, let me tell you, this is the result of over 6 months of a committed group of people that form part of the committee. The main objective is that we want these little, small and micro businesses to have an additional source of revenue and income for the household.
One of those small businesses was Culturally Alive Kombucha, makers of a variety of sparkling probiotic drinks. They have been in existence for the past 10 years in San Ignacio. They took their beverages to introduce to the folks from Orange Walk. Co-owner Lainey Hogstratton did the honors.
Kombucha is a cultured beverage that's main feature is probiotic. The probiotic is the positive bacteria, the helpful flora that you need for your digestion and that you need for your immune system. This is a drink that you can enjoy as you would enjoy a soda, or instead of a beer or a wine. This is an alternative beverage that has a little fizziness to it. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit sour. We have 12 different flavors. As much as we can, we're drawing from the flavors, from the authentic herbs of Belize, and bringing that into the mix with the probiotic, with the gentle detoxification that this probiotic provides. It also gives a natural B vitamin.
Aside from the sparkling probiotic beverages, the owners of this business also offer a quick energy booster for the average consumer, as well as a special variety for diabetics.
This has 2 formulas in one.
There were also soaps made from natural herbs and spices from Belize's rainforest. Jessica Reyes founded Jessica's Organic Beauty in 2018, when her mom began developing dark spots on her hands.
Facial and body soap bars, as natural as I can go. I have a shampoo bar and an oil. Those were how I started because I had a lot of hair loss. And since going organic is the best way at the moment, so I went and I infused my oils, and there is where a shampoo bar came out.
Reyes enrolled in a special course abroad to learn what products to blend for what skin or hair condition.
And a friend was like, hey Jessica, they're giving a course on soap bars, do you want to try it? And I went. I did not take the whole entire course because I just went for limited days. But while there, I took the intro. Then when I came back home, it was all study. I brought books and research and kept in contact with the soaper from the US. I create the soap to help you with certain things, like skin imperfections or things that a baby might have or adults can have.
There were also organically grown jalapeno peppers, plants, and compost produced by the Progressive Sugarcane Producers Association. Janelle Osayeta is the association's program director.
Today we're celebrating the declaration of Orange Walk Town as a fair trade town itself, and Progressive Sugarcane Producers is probably where the idea was born. We're displaying our jalapenos. We're also displaying seedlings because we have 3 greenhouses on our grounds.
So seedlings for jalapenos?
For jalapenos, yes.
Okay.
And we usually grow radish, jalapenos, cucumbers, ethically grown with our own organic fertilizer, chemical free. And we also have mahogany trees that we bought to raffle for our farmers or anybody that visits the booth.
And after all the purchases, there were these baskets and containers that were made by Mercedes Garcia and her family company, Montalvan Arts and Crafts.
Hay lámparas.
We have lamps, we have little basket for tortilla, and we have baskets for put clothes.
Okay.
And on the tables, which is with 8 chairs. Everything is manual.
No hay moldes.
We don't have no molding. It's just that with your mind, you make up what you have in your mind and you make what you got there.
What's the?
It's bayal. It's a Spanish name. Bayal is a tree grow with a lot of prickles, and you have to take it out and you strip it off and you dry it. Well, actually, you could do it green.
Speaking of green, the grounds weren't exactly lush on Saturday because there was a heavy downpour that interrupted the event for almost 2 hours. The rain was out of the organizers' control, but they were pleased with the turnout.
I'm satisfied with the turnout so far. I know normally the crowd comes in after midday. That's the time when they come for food, and that's the time when they want looking for entertainment. So things were going to look up, but the rain came, and I think that kind of slowed down. But I still believe that we're going to have more visitors coming into the market.
How many booths?
We have about 32 booths, and we have from food to coconut water to seaweed to relleno, escabeche, tamales, dare, salpicon. I mean, healthcare products, you name it, we have it out there.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
If you want to try the sparkling probiotic beverages, you can contact Culturally Alive Kombucha at 676-9323. If your interest is in the natural skin and hair products, you can call 626-1351. And if you want to buy any of the baskets, you can call Mercedes Garcia at 602-8531. Up next, KTV live performances officially kick off at the Bliss.
Y'all ready for this? Ready or not? This is possibly the greatest fight in semi-pro basketball history, scheduled for 5 brutal rounds. Let's get it on! Hurricanes with a vicious right hook to the jaw of the Tiger Sharks in Game 1. Down but not out, Sharks answers with a massive left jab to lay out the Hurricanes in round 2. Here comes the Hurricanes with a ferocious power shot to the body of the Tiger Sharks. In round 3, back and forth they go. Who will win the decisive Game 4?
They're playing basketball.
This Friday night, July 7 at Belize Civic Center, starting at 9 p.m., is going to be the battle between the 3-time champion San Pedro Tiger Sharks and the 2-time champ Venice Belize Hurricanes in an all-out war for Game 4.
War in the East.
This game will be the biggest of the season. 2 storied franchises with multiple championships like the Celtics and the Lakers. It's the San Pedro Tiger Sharks, led by Francis Naitiarana, Kyle Stewart, Jihad Wright, John Kelly, going up against the Venice Belize Hurricanes, who will answer with Clancy Coupe Lopez, Victor Vito Evans, Kirk Shabba Smith Jr., Alex the Legend Carcamo, Jamil Harrison, Chris Frazier. Will the Hurricanes close them out and win their 3rd championship? Or will the Hurricanes be eaten alive by the Tiger Sharks, forcing a decisive Game 5? Bring out the entire family this Friday night, June 7th. Belize Civic Center, 9 p.m. sharp. Canes versus Tiger Sharks. Lots of giveaways, Tiger Sharks style. After party at Thirsty Thursday. Sponsors Maya Island here, Tough Enough Tours, West Track, Sandy Point Resorts, Joseph and Taylor.
Tiger Sharks with a confident win again.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
The 50th anniversary of the Caribbean community, better known as CARICOM, is being celebrated in Trinidad at the 45th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government. On Monday night, we shared with you details of the meeting as it relates to reviewing the accomplishments achieved for the region, including a focus on crime. In day 2 of the official events, issues such as climate change, transnational migration, and food security were at the center of discussions. Here's a report from Peter Richards.
Prime Minister Rowley expressed confidence that future generations will look back approvingly on the outcome of the Golden Jubilee talks.
Never before have small states faced the broad and deep range of challenges that we face now. From climate change, pandemic, gun crimes and violence, transnational migration issues, to insecurity with food supplies, our region has been buffeted by many systemic storms. Throughout all of this, the majority of the people of our region have proven themselves to be resilient, resourceful, determined, and dignified.
As it turns 50, CARICOM might not have silenced its naysayers, but Rowley noted the progress that the regional grouping has made.
50 years after the birth of our union, and with the experience of having spawned so many regional institutions and institutional arrangements that work so well for us, now might be a good time to reflect on what it might have been if we were able to hold a Caribbean nation together.
In his address, CARICOM Chairman and Dominica's Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit said CARICOM has achieved much over the past 50 years. Skerrit, however, warned the region not to allow the celebrations to be a distraction from the substance of the heavy lifting still needed to make the community viable, prosperous, secure, and beneficial to all of its people.
We deserve to be proud of our history. It is no mean feat that we have the longest surviving economic integration movement in the developing world. And second only to the European Union globally. We have things that we should be proud of in CARICOM. And so it is with justifiable pride that we should all say, I am CARICOM.
Reflecting on his chairmanship of the regional bloc, Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Philip Davis, said there had been marked progress on a number of issues, including addressing crime in the region. Davis, however, acknowledged the unresolved humanitarian, security, and political crisis in Haiti, CARICOM's largest member nation.
What is really preventing us from reviving the single domestic space that once allowed our citizens to traverse freely across our region? We have already tried and tested the Advanced Passenger Information System, APIS, which allows immigration and security personnel in each of our countries full access to the details of every passenger boarding an aircraft or a ferry.
And CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett flagged the crisis in Haiti in her address to the opening ceremony.
The Bahamas remains committed to acting as a lead with other CARICOM member states to find a solution to the ongoing humanitarian and security crisis there. The CARICOM-led meeting of Haitian stakeholders in Kingston in June was cause for cautious optimism. Stakeholders welcomed the inclusive nature of the meeting, which were a microcosm of the Haitian society.
The summit is attracting a number of high-profile guests, including UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, Prime Minister of South Korea Han Duck-soo, and the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Leaders will begin deliberating their agenda behind closed doors on Tuesday and will brief the region on their decisions Wednesday evening. This is Peter Richards in Port of Spain, Trinidad, reporting for News 5 Live.
It's finally here and promises to be bigger and better than previous years. We're talking KTV The Remix Season 5, and it's going down live at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts at 8 o'clock. 12 contestants will take the stage in their first public appearance of the annual competition. To hold you over until showtime, here's a quick look at what viewers at home and in the audience can expect.
Forward to Tuesday nights when KTV is on. I mean, really look forward to it. It's an outing And a lot of the folks that come to the Bliss, it's an outing for them. They come, they bring their children. It's affordable. It's the most affordable game in town, for heaven's sake.
Tonight, 12 contestants will debut their talents in singing and performing as they compete in Season 5 of KTV The Remix. It's an annual showcase of raw talent that Belizeans the country over have come to anticipate. It's family fun at its best, and for many, an ideal means to jump-starting their summer vacation. Meet 17-year-old Haziel Alanis. He's one of several participants to make it past the initial round of auditions. So, what does this young aspiring artist bring to the stage?
I hope I'm able to show what I'm capable of doing as a fellow Latino Spanish-speaking singer. I expect to help people and become pretty much like a role model to all those young artists out there that are afraid to come out and show their real talent that they have.
Like his colleagues in this crop of fresh talent, Haziel's performance will be critiqued by a panel of 3 judges, including Andazi, a new face to the KTV bench. For Jenny, I love it, Lovell, KTV The Remix is an event she looks forward to because it brings about a special flair.
This year, we've had more singers than we've ever had since we started doing the karaoke. So I think I started with y'all when we started karaoke. We've had more singers than we've ever had. And we've had better singers than we've ever had. We have more people who sing well than we had bad ones.
What has you most excited?
The singers. The singers. The audience in the Bliss. I love a lot of the folks there because we've become friends over the years. So I really enjoy the audience there, even though they can be pretty mean. But William is able to tone them down, you know. But the singers that come out, I really enjoy how they mature over the number of weeks. They practice all the things they put into practice the things that we tell them. And when they come back, they sound so much better.
Taking the stage for the first time tonight, Haziel is primed to use his time on the stage as the ideal platform to springboard his budding musical career. It's something he takes seriously.
I think this is a great opportunity for me because I tend to take singing as a personal career, as a big career. And I want to be involved into music because I want to bring Belize out there, not only to keep itself in here, because I know there's a lot of talented artists that are out there that can be bigger than what they are already here. So I want to take music, Belizean music, abroad.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.